apartment for a very nice landlord. He has a very good reputation around town, and I enjoy helping him out and making YouTube videos. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the barely green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors, however you may find white live in a 110, 120 volt switch loop or on a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. We're going to be installing this new LED Allen and Roth light, and this is a very nice luxury apartment complex, and we're going to spruce it up for the next tenants that are moving in. Okay, so we'll turn this old light off. And we'll get our work light hung up here. We'll save this fixture for like a temporary light when we do remodeling and stuff, so we're not throwing it out. One thing you'll notice right off the bat, they did not ground the bracket here for this light, and they did not hook the ground wire up. So we'll disconnect our wires. There we go. And as you can see, they didn't hook the ground wire up.
Hey, go to your tube switch you give me 1 second.
Not really, because I'm kind of busy with it right now, but when I get time, we'll be able to. Okay, so we have our black, which is live, and our white, which is neutral. And our ground wires are just wiring up here. Take our medallion down, because we don't need this up here, because and one of our ground wires came right out of the wire nut. So we'll make sure our connection here is good before we go back up into our box. See how uneven they were? You want to have all your wires even when you put your wire nuts on. Get them even like this here. And you twist your wire nut in. And we'll use our wire pliers here to get them twisted together. And see our insulation's going up inside the wire nut. That's what I want. There, now we have a good connection. That's what we want. Up in our lights, in our box here. Let's see how they did on our white wires here. Wow, look how uneven they were. So we'll get these evened up here. Now I'm just a little short, so we'll strip this one a little bit here. Because you want all your wires to be the same length. Okay, there, we got them all even here. See how they're all nice and even? Take our wire nut. Grab all 3 wires. Now look at our wire nut, make sure all our insulation's up inside the wire nut the way we want them. Now we'll get these wires up into our box and get them up out of our way. This other ground wire down here. Okay, so these are the 2 that are going to go to our light. So there are black feed wire going to our white switch wire. Back up into our box. Yeah, I got them even here, so I'm just going to clip them so they're all even on the end here. Okay, we looked at our fixture, we know where we got to put our screws. We're going to use the 2 outside holes or we could use the two inside, it doesn't matter. We'll just use whichever set we can screw into easier. Yeah, we'll be able to screw into the outside ones easier. It has two positions for, there we go. So this is the top of our fixture. You'll see the threaded posts. They'll come up through these holes here, and then you'll put your little thumb wheels on there. So first we'll take our ground wire. We'll get it up here, we'll wrap it around our solid wire here. Get it even at the end here like that. And we'll stick our wire nut on. Okay, now we push it up into our box, get it up out of our way. Now we'll get our black feed wire going to our white switch wire up here out of our way. We'll get our white wires up here out of our way. Now we'll hook our white and our black up, and we'll use yellow wire nuts. Okay, so we'll take our white wire. We stripped it a little longer here so we get a nice connection. So we'll wrap our strands around our solid wire like that. See how I get the strands wrapped around our solid wire with our copper even at the end and our insulation even at the top like that. That's what we want. We'll put our wire nut on, make sure insulation goes into that cap. And then we'll do the same with our black wire. Okay, so we'll get our insulation even at the top here like this. Wrap our strands around our solid wire like this here. Get our copper even at the end and our insulation even up here. Take our wire nut. Now let's make sure our wire nuts are nice and tight. Now we need to push our wires up into our box here. Alright. Now let's push our wires into our box, get them up out of our way here. Okay, get all our wires up into our box like that. And we'll get our ground wire up into here. Make sure all the wires are going into the box so you don't pinch anything. And we'll just get down to our holes here. There we go. And you just take your Phillips screwdriver and you just tighten your screws. Tighten it up. Make sure it's in all the way. We'll come over here, we'll find the screw head. And we'll just tighten it up. I'll make sure it's in all the way. Okay, it looks like we got it in. Okay, now the tricky part. So now you just put your glass inside the piece like this on the bigger side. You don't want to drop it because you'll end up being all frustrated. Okay, so it sets in there like that. And we'll find our holes. They're right here. So we'll just hold it in place here. We'll take our little thumb screws here. We'll set it. Oh! If it falls and breaks, I'll just thank the Lord it fell and broke. That's all. You don't get upset. You don't get all frustrated. It's not going to help you. There's one. Find our other one is over here. Oh, don't let it fall. But if it does fall, you know what? It falls. You can't change the past. But you get it on that little post there. Well, I lost my little post, but I'm not getting upset. It's right over here. There it is. There it is. I just keep turning until it tightens. There's one over here. There it is. I just turn it. And if you have to, you can take your pliers and you turn it if your hands are greasy and you can't turn it. Or if it doesn't want to cooperate, you have to turn it with the pliers. You turn it with your pliers. Two are one easy, and this one's going trickier. I got it. There's the light. You can pause the video to read the instructions. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Peace.